Well, it was quite unusual. In fact, the stunt team I was working with said that they do that kind of thing with the actor much more often in Asian cinema, and it's less usual with Europe and the West. And it was certainly, I'd never done anything like it, not really seen much like it. You know, Matthew Vaughn showed me, it's a very, very different fight, but in the early days, he didn't show me, I'd seen it already, but Old Boy, the Korean film, in which there's a long, I think with very few cuts, wide shot of a lot of people fighting one guy. And there's something about the energy that communicates when you're seeing theatre. It's not dependent on cut, or you know, it's just people having choreographed something. So he wanted that, but unlike Old Boy, it moves much more. The handheld cameraman is one of the dancers, and it's a dance. You know, there was me and 3, 4, 5 people and a camera operator doing continuous sequences. So, yeah, we had to train. I had no natural ability to do any of those things, so I had to learn it. And even the more conventional scenes with intercutting, he was still using an awful lot of theatrical body language. And that was true of the pub fight and everything that Taron did. So we had to train very intensively just so we could do it.
I mean, you know, they were all tough, and the fact that they were, you know, one after the other for 4 months, the whole experience was challenging. I suppose if there's a time I ever remember being really exhausted, it's after doing the underwater scene, because that took about 10 days to film, and there's a lot, you know, and you're using your full body to just support yourself even in between takes. So yeah, the underwater scene.
This is fine for me.
I think it's fine for me as well, actually. I think, yeah. I mean, never say never, but I think, I don't really feel, I never really feel like I don't know if I'm that kind of, I don't know.
No, this is the one I didn't expect this would happen. It happened, and this is the one I want now. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't really see much point in going from Harry Hart to James Bond, you know, so it's, as far as I'm concerned, the things that I would love to have done if I were to play James Bond, I did here, and perhaps a lot more.
Yeah, I think that's how I feel. I think had I not done this, I probably would have thought, oh yeah, it'd be fun to play James Bond one day, but there's a lot of James Bond in this, you know. Might be more fun to go and do something a bit different after this, I think.
I don't think any of these are particularly...
No, none of them are, but you're right, they are all cliches.
Yeah, these are actually good questions.
Yeah,
it's
really
quite refreshing.
You're bang on the money.
People say, what is the English gentleman? How is it important to be a gentleman? You're right, it's a cliche.
You're exactly right, yeah.
And you might see, a representation of it, usually in parts played by me, but nevertheless, they are just devices in storytelling and cinema, and quite frankly, I don't recognize them any more in England than anywhere else in the world. This is just cinematic currency.
It's probably more a question for Colin, because you know it would still have been a choice for him. This was my first real film opportunity, so I grabbed it with both hands. But I think you're right. I think it's not like the average comic book film.
No, because I think he's done. He's not the first person, obviously, to do this in a way which is self-aware or with irony, of course. Because I think this done masterfully, the Iron Man style is wonderful. It uses humor. It's very, very self-aware. But Matthew, this is about Matthew's particular sensibility. It's just who he is and how he has processed things. And when anything is done well, it's an artistic achievement. I know that sounds lofty, but that's what it is with Matthew. He's playing with popular culture from the point of view of a very dispassionate technician, of a visionary, as a cinematically skilled man, and as a fan. He understands a fan's desires and trigger points and reflexes because he is one, you know? So this is done with the love and the desire to see certain things on the screen and to see what you can risk if you push it a bit further and if you make it a bit more extreme. And also without, because if you push it too far, it explodes in the wrong way. So I just think his judgment in those things is exceptional.